Prime Minister Julia Gillard's new ministry has been sworn in at Admiralty House. During the ceremony, the winners were grinners, while any disappointment from those demoted or moved sideways was kept well and truly in check.
They're not all new faces, but they do hold new positions on Julia Gillard's front bench. Women did well in the reshuffle, with a record number of 5 females now in the cabinet after the inclusion of Tanya Plibersek as the new Minister for Health. At the swearing-in ceremony, the Governor-General also made special mention of Nicola Roxon's promotion, marking the first time Australia has had a female Attorney-General.
I wish you all the very best today.
The other winners, like power brokers Bill Shorten and Mark Arbib, were clearly thrilled with their promotions. But the former Industry Minister Kim Carr, who was demoted and dumped from the cabinet, couldn't bring himself to make eye contact with the Prime Minister. Kim Carr is one of Kevin Rudd's supporters, and there are fears within caucus that his demotion could again stoke leadership tensions.
This reshuffle was about the Prime Minister buying the loyalty of the faceless men who put her into office and who were thinking of going over to Kevin Rudd.
On radio, when Julia Gillard was asked about her relationship with her predecessor, she insisted they work well together. Their personal relationship is a different matter.
Prime Minister, do you like him?
Look, Kevin and I are working well together, John. The reason I'm hesitating is because I don't like the, pop psychology of it all. We're doing something serious. We're running a government and we're running a nation.
Ashleigh Gillon, Sky News.
And joining me now from Canberra for more on this story is Sky News political editor David Spears. David, will these changes stoke leadership rumblings against Julia Gillard?
Vanessa, it doesn't seem to take much to stoke leadership rumblings at the moment within Labor. Every time there's a cabinet leak, every time, during the Labor conference a week and a half ago, and now with this reshuffle, it seems tensions are simmering there, not too far below the surface at any given time. But yes, this reshuffle has stoked some tensions. We've seen this week the promotion of people who helped Julia Gillard into the leadership, the demotion of Kim Carr, who's seen to be in the Rudd camp. This has not gone down well with Julia Gillard's internal critics. It was never going to. Her supporters, though, are suggesting that this is another sign of her strength, that she's not going to be swayed by those who would like to undermine and destabilise her. So, look, this is an ongoing problem for the Prime Minister. She'll get a bit of a break over Christmas from it, but come the new year, a lot will depend once again on how well she's going in the polls as to whether the leadership talk goes from talk to something more real.
David, the new ministers won't be getting much of a summer holiday.
They won't, particularly those who've been promoted into the frontline roles. Greg Combet adds industry and innovation to his climate change portfolio. Now, he will have a big job ahead of him with the pressure that's on industry at the moment with the high dollar. Bill Shorten in workplace relations is given the job because he's a pretty good communicator, but on a policy front he will have to oversee the review of the Fair Work Act. He will have to meet or at least ameliorate the demands of employers for significant change in the Fair Work Act and deal with the increasing industrial disputation that we're seeing as well. So challenges there for him and for others as well who've been promoted. This is more than just shuffling around the cards. This will put the heat on some of these newly promoted ministers to start performing.
David, just finally, what do we know about this report due out tomorrow on MPs' pay?
This will be a big story tomorrow. The Remuneration Tribunal report will be finally made public tomorrow. It's going to recommend, as we understand it, moves to try and reduce the various perks that MPs receive outside of their base salary. So we're talking about things like overseas travel, the Gold Pass travel when they retire. It may even go to some of those things like printing and electoral allowances, and in return boost their base salary. So that will increase significantly under the recommendation we're expecting tomorrow. And look, there will be the usual criticism that Polly's pay, they don't deserve it. But I think when you do look at the mess of the way it's structured at the moment, cleaning up a lot of those extras and getting rid of them and increasing the base pay would seem to make a lot more sense, to make it a lot more transparent as to what our politicians are earning.
David Spears, thank you.